Hello viewers, welcome back. I am Frederick Noronha and this is a short slot called Books in Brief where we look at books related to Goa and maybe which you might like reading or checking out. Today's book, as you can make out, is a very old book. It's really tattered, almost tattered, and it's called Boarding Party. Boarding Party, the last action of the Calcutta Light Horse. So it might ring a bell for some of you, the seniors in the group. During World War II, there was this story that team of British officers sailed down from Calcutta to Goa via the coast and actually had an operation to sink 2 German and 1 Italian ships, if I got it right, that were allegedly sending out enemy signals during World War II. So these signals were informing the Germans about the shipping activity of the Brits, and the Germans were torpedoing the ships as they crossed the Indian Ocean. So it's hard to believe it, but all this action happened in Goa. The movie telling you this same story is called The Sea Wolves. The Sea Wolves is actually available on YouTube. The full movie is available on YouTube. I suggest very strongly that you take a look at it. It's a well created film. We'll come to the other side later, but it's a very well created film. It was shot in the early 80s in the Fontainous area of Panjim, which was recreated to look as if it was in the 40s. So in the 80s it was shot there, and among some other places in Goa, also in Kampal, and that was where some of the action took place. Hotel Republica behind the old secretariat. All these scenes are very, recognizable to an average Goan. So please have a look at it. It's called The Sea Wolves. The Sea Wolves is a movie based on this book. So this book, coming to the point, is by James Leason and is called The Boarding Party. It has a foreword by Admiral of the Fleet, the Earl Mountbatten of Burma, who was still alive when it was written. Sorry, it's in bad state, it's pinholed and it's almost collapsing. The book is crumbling in that sense. So the book is published by Allied Publishers in India, first published in 1978, and this is the second Indian reprint, 1979. Okay, and it tells you the story of the boarding party. So in short, as you can see on the back cover, there is this picture of probably in the Times of India, which says inquiry into fire on Axis ships in Goa, from our own correspondent. So what happened was that Goa was a neutral port. Goa was a neutral port in World War II. It was Portugal didn't take part in the war, as a result of which both Axis and Allied ships were here, ships and troops, and everyone could pass by. So somehow the British wanted to disrupt these ships of the Germans, 2 German ships and 1 Italian ship, and they used this team of retired British officers to come and sabotage these ships, to set them on fire. So this is a rather glamorized and I would say British version of what went on in that particular episode. It shows the British in very good light. It shows them as very smart, brave, as cunning, daring and things like that. Whereas the Germans are of course the bad guys because they lost out in the war and they didn't tell their story. And the Goans are somewhere there in the middle, where they are like, the guys playing the small parts and the bit roles, and they come across almost as a bit comical in the movie, and things like that. You watch it for yourself. I won't bias you on that. It's an interesting book. The movie is even more well dramatized. It's shot nicely. You can see it on YouTube again, as I said. And it's a charming story. It's a charming story. The book is of course totally out of print. I don't think you'll get a copy of it nowadays. If you can probably look it up at the Central Library in Pato in Panjim. On the 4th floor they have a Goa book section, which allows you to read and refer to Goa books. You cannot borrow them, you cannot take it home, but you can read and refer to it, and you can actually maybe photograph pages of what you want. You might get second-hand copies on Amazon. I don't know if it's in a reprint. So that's it for today. Thanks a lot.